Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, got 5 out versus pick and roll in NBA 2K21 Next Gen Pro-Am. Which is better? We're going to be discussing that in today's video, and in general we just have a really good gameplay for you guys to watch here, so I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff, and as always, let's try to get one to 800 likes. Now, this is going to be all types of comp stuff. Anything you see on this Pro-Am series is going to be WR matchups, aka just comp Pro-Am leagues, or we're going to be matching up with people in Discord chats that are into this Pro-Am stuff and they have their 5, but they didn't pay any money to get into it. And I have a lot to catch you guys up on as far as the fans of the channel and the fans of the Pro-Am series in general, but for all the new people or the returning subscribers, I just want to introduce you guys to the lineups. So moving from left to right, we got my boy Nick. He's playing as our on-ball lockdown, but in this game, he's going to be guarding the wing. We have Nut guarding ball in this game, and he's on his 6'9" build, kind of a metric build. Again, for all the fans of the series, I explained to you guys my build a couple videos ago. It's a 6'10" metric, essentially. It's 6'9.5", explaining it in the most simple way possible. Essentially, it's a 6'10" big. We have my boy Pan in the mid left. He's playing corner on offense and defense. Then we have my boy Kitchen on the far right, returning my OG point guard that I've played with for the last 3 years. He's finally back on this next gen stuff, and we're enjoying this with the Pro-Am a lot. He's playing point guard for us, and then he's also playing the wing on defense. Now, mind you, we're the team that runs pick and roll. These guys are the team that runs 5 out. Now, I'm just be real when it comes to these intros. As with any 5 out team, to be completely honest with you, there's not much to explain as far as their offense goes, except for the point guard. So, Curry MVP on the far right, he is the guy that's going to be running the 5 out in the ISO for them. Anything else is essentially just a lockdown or a big. You guys get the deal. It kind of is what it is. You can see they run a 6'10" at the big man as well. Most likely, any team that you run into when it comes to this Pro-Am stuff is going to be running that metric 6'9.5" meta big. It's really just what you see at all times. Now, I got to mention, early in this game, you see a lot of mistakes, and I'm just going to go ahead and gloss over a couple of them, but we'll go ahead and just, for all the people who hate the breakdowns, we'll start with one. Essentially, what you're going to see a lot in this game, you're going to see me playing the paint, but I wasn't prepared for the 5 out off rip, so that's why I was just kind of beaming to the paint, and then I'm like, oh snap, okay, we're in 5 out, like off rip. So obviously my responsibility would normally be the corner right here, and me and Kitchen would be working from the same side. Now in any situation where I have to drop on the 5 out because this guy might drive and get past Nut, and then I have to pick up in the paint because contact dunks are insane in this game, as we all know it, whether you play Park or Pro-Am. Kitchen is going to play halves between these two players right here, and then wherever the ball goes, I want for him to go there, and then I'll go wherever the ball doesn't go to give me time to react and kind of rotate, so to say. But as you can see, we just had a lot of miscommunication right there. Didn't even know we were playing as 5 out to start this game. So with that comes obviously a couple miscommunications or just lack of understanding of what to do in certain spots. So like I said, early in the game, there's a lot of mistakes, a lot of sloppiness that I'm just going to kind of gloss over and not talk too much about when it comes to the commentary. This first quarter is going to be me kind of talking over this stuff and letting you guys see how the game builds a little bit, and just essentially giving you guys the rundown on whether I think 5 out is better or pick and roll is better. Then we'll get into the gameplay a little bit later in the commentary. So as far as what matchup differences are when it comes to Pro-Am 5 out versus pick and roll is a whole lot more organized and kind of uniform things where things have to go according to plan, and when they don't, it's very hard to make things happen out of nowhere. Whereas 5 out is kind of just freelance, all relies on one guy essentially, or the communication from that one guy to direct his whole team, whether it be wing cuts, corner cuts, any types of off-ball movements, whether it's, like I said, the wing cuts and then him moving back out to the wing, or, you know, we call this the Z's, where it's essentially a pop slip to the corner and the corner cuts. It's all types of crazy stuff that you can, you know, feature into your offense when it comes to 5 out because there's so much spacing. Whereas with the pick and roll game, it is a bit more focused on 2 players, but there are a lot of people who run the 5 out where it could just be a one-man show essentially, where it's just that one dude going 5 out ISO, get out the way all game, and we'll just read and react from there. So with that, you see a lot of teams who play like that, where this guy is going to be working the top of the key. Curry slides. If he can get past Nut, then go ahead and go for the drives. It is what it is. You can see we get that secondary fast break right there. No outlet or anything like that, but I'm able to get up court, give it to Nick on the wing. He misses. Nut gets the O board and goes back up. You see me go crazy with the attempted putback dunk. Honestly, I probably just double tapped Y right there. I wasn't even going for the actual X dunk. I rarely ever do that. Now, right here, you're going to see this rotation happen a lot. And again, I'm going to try and maybe go a little bit more fast paced with this gameplay right here and not spend so much time breaking down things for you guys. But this is the key rotation every single time. Now, what could happen here is essentially Nut would kick out to this wing and Kitchen would rotate over to this corner right here. But if we get in the situation where me and Nut both go for this, where I'm chasing off the corner and he's chasing from behind, You would hope that this actually ends up with a block or a missed shot, or, you know, not going up for a dunk and we can force him into a layup. And then Kitchen can kind of read and react on this wing, cut off this wing guy right here, or just play right in the middle of these two of them so that he can get to either spot the ball goes to. And then again, if Kitchen were to rotate to the corner, if Nut gets beat bad enough, he can just rotate out to the wing. It's a very simple thing, and it's kind of, I would say it's low-key a bit easy to play rotations when it comes to 5-out. It's just so tragic in this game how 5-out defense works because flat out, I have 80 interior defense, and, you know, I'm 6'10" with 99 block, Hall of Fame rim, all types of stuff like that, and you're still going to see me getting dunked on a lot, or dunked near a lot in this game as well. Now, you could probably ask, why do we even have Nut guarding ball? He actually doesn't even have clamps in this gameplay right here, to be completely honest with you guys. It's kind of just something that we're practicing for any teams that we even play, whether it be future teams in the 5-out. Right there, you can see me play hands up. I am never doing that ever again after seeing that, to be completely honest with y'all. But as far as the teams we might play in the future that run 5-out, we're actually potentially going to be ending up playing Joe Knows. Now, we got a lot to work on, as you can see right here. I mean, I'm looking horrible when it comes to trying to catch that lob, try and run out. I actually get an offensive free second, but we might be playing Joe's team in the short future here. I don't want to talk too much on that because I don't know all the key details yet. We got a lot to work on. Obviously, it's 10 people's schedules. We have to kind of conform that whole thing around, so just keep that in mind. But with that said, it's probably going to be around a $1,000 wager. We're going to keep all that in mind. It's going to be real ideal as far as the Pro-Am content. We're thinking best of 5 series, something like that. Might even stream it. I know Joe is for sure going to stream it on Twitch. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. You guys can leave that in the comments for sure. As you see, nice little pick and roll right there. Get the catch on the lob. But you guys can leave that in the comments for sure. Do you want to see me stream that on YouTube, or should I just put it in video form, cut the videos up, or maybe even drop them as live commentary as videos? Feel free to let me know what you guys want to see. Now, this right here, back to the gameplay. And again, we'll talk about that Joe stuff a bit later in the commentary and stuff like that, but there's not much to talk about right now. Again, we're figuring out all the details and the scheduling and stuff like that. But you can see, again, Kitchen playing halves, I'm dropping, but here's where things get kind of weird. If he stops at that mid-range right there, I'm thinking to bail back, because at that point, Nut is pretty much committed to him, and he just hits a really nice Curry slide from the mid. There's nothing to be done about this. You can see Panda try and drop, but he's not going to be able to contest that very well either. Honestly, I feel like to stop this 5-out stuff, you really need 2 corners with good interior defense. You need 2 guys on the wing with great steal to play the halves and stuff like that. Great decision makers on that wing as well. And then for the on-ball defender, you need someone who's just straight up a walking clamp. Like, I'm talking, this dude needs to be able to stop ball really well, stop the point guard from getting anywhere, whether it be the drives, open threes, anything like that. You can see nice little wrap that we run right there. Nick ended up missing a wide open wing shot. And then back in transition, I mean, again, dunks are dunks. Kitchen has no interior defense. He's going to absolutely get bodied like that every single time. I mean, almost everybody in the game gets bodied like that, to be completely honest with you. Now, we're out here on a little secondary fast break again. Nick hits me moving up the court. I'm kind of drifting left, right. Boom, get the standing dunk right there. 13-11, just like that. We're trailing by just a bit. And I got to say, this was a very ugly first half, just to keep in mind for all you guys. You can see, again, Nut goes for the chase down right there. Doesn't get anything, gets a great shot contest, but ends up with a foul. And now here's the name of the game of this video right here as far as the title goes. 5-out versus pick and roll. I mean, you can see, I have 4 points, Kitchen has 5. We have a combined 6 shot attempts between the two of us. There's 6 shot attempts from their point guard. You can see literally 4 of them are drives, 2 of them are 3-point attempts, and then they have that foul right there that just happened, which would have been another 2-point attempt, but obviously, you know, get fouled, doesn't count as a field goal attempt. Either way, flat out, I mean, it's just as simple as this. It's one-man show versus two-man show, and at times you may involve the other guys, or you're going to force the other team to involve the other guys as far as if they want to help off the corners, help off the wings, you know, blitz or anything like that, double team the point guard, and then just work a couple help defenses around there. It is what it is. It's all about read and react. How are you going to stop me? And then what are we going to do as far as what you're trying to do to stop us? So you can see right there, he gets a really bad backcourt violation. Like I said, this first half, it's real ugly. I really want you guys, if you enjoy this Pro-Am content, to stick through this game. This is a beautiful fire gameplay, and you guys are gonna love this. Whether you're looking forward to a little bit of competition or not knowing what ends up happening in the gameplay, whether we win or lose, I promise you're gonna like watching this video right here. Now you can see Kitchen hits a nice little dot on Panda. Panda goes with the green right there. Panda was balling out of his mind in this game too, I gotta say. For someone who kind of just sits corner and doesn't really do anything, but he was playing fire this game. Now you can see they get the tip in right there, a whole bunch of BS, but again, here's our rotation. I'm dropping down. You can see Nut rotates perfect. He goes to that wing just like that. Kitchen to the corner. Perfect rotation. 68% contest. He didn't green it or anything like that. And then we're down here for the rebound. Boom. This dude just gets a lucky tip. It is what it is. Honestly, that was perfect defense. Couldn't draw that up any better as far as the rotations that we would want for that. You can see right here, we try and get to Nut with the shot clock winding down. Gets an accidental post spin in. And then has to force up a standing layup right there. So, in the first quarter, 16-16, nice fast-moving gameplay. I gotta say, whenever you see not a lot of fouls or anything like that in transition, it's a beautiful sight, but that is to be seen as well. So, as far as 5-out versus pick and roll as well, and you can see there's where it's really, really important. Miscommunications and just not being on the same page. You need a lot of chemistry, I would say, between the two guards, whether it be we have two guards that we run with and then me as a big, so I need to have chemistry with both of them. Or we might even have Nut, who's a 5-out option on our team, and we have a whole bunch of different sets that we can run. Right here you can see they're running a little wing ISO, not by design obviously, but it is what it is. And you can see right here, nice rotation for the two-man game as well. So in the situations where we see a wing cut or a corner cut, either way, I'm picking up the cuts. So if it's coming from the wing, Kitchen's going to go ahead and move to the corner for me as I pick up for the paint on him, because we don't really want to do all that following when it comes to wing cuts and just, you know, trying to have dudes who don't belong on the interior. And then it's really not that hard for us to switch back either. You're going to see me and Kitchen communicate this as well. Boom, I'm to corner, Kitchen's back to wing. Just like that, we're playing great defense. Nick gets a nice solid contest right there. Obviously, I'm not able to get back to the corner, so Nick does a great job covering that up. Now we're playing halves. Now we're in scramble mode, straight up scramble mode. Like, there's a lot going on right here. Smokes a wide open corner three. Obviously, stuff like that, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't really like seeing for the sake of the video content and the gameplay, because I do want people to be, I want you guys to see the highest competition level whenever we play anybody. So I want us to be firing on all cylinders. I want the other team to be firing on all cylinders, but it does happen. People miss shots, even if it's wide open corner shots. I've heard of a lot of these point guards too who don't even run dimer, apparently, which is crazy in my opinion. I mean, everybody just thinks that you just have to be such a great shooter in this game that you don't even need the badge in general if you're a spot up, but you do see smoked corner threes like that in general sometimes, where really that could be the difference between, you know, hitting the shot and not if you have that Hall of Fame dimer. Now, again, I dropped for this rotation. Honestly, it's demoralizing to see this 15 different times in a whole game, to be completely honest with you. I do feel like having the interior defense and the height and the vertical and the block rating and the rim protector and the intimidator, all types of stuff like that should add up. I even run rim takeover at this point to try and avoid getting dunked on as much as possible. But it's just the truth of this game. Now, crazy enough, a lot of people believe that this 5-out is not the meta. Like, you rarely see this 5-out stuff when it comes to Pro-Am. And again, teams like Joe, they have kind of mastered that, in my opinion, as far as just how they run the 5-out. They work together as a team really well. They don't just strictly do ISO. They involve their wing cuts. They involve their corners quite a bit. Joe looks to dot. He's a great passer as well. Honestly, a lot of people just be, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people be sleeping on him and his team when it comes to comp Pro-Am stuff, and they be thinking that these content creators are just like not even about this comp life. You can see I get a nice little standing lob right there, camp the block with like less than a second left on the clock. Got 6 points. We end up with the 20-18 lead right there. Nick with a nice on-ball defense. Now this is where we're in kind of scramble mode again, and you're going to see Nick is actually able to kind of seal him up a little bit. He probably could have had the crab as soon as he caught it on the wing right there. You can see he goes in for the dunk again. Honestly, if there's anything to be said about this 5-out offense, it is that you get easy buckets doing it. That's in my personal opinion. You really get the easiest buckets half the time. Now you can see right here, a lot of times we're in this transition as far as like secondary fast break, again, where we're just kind of getting it up the court quickly, and you know, the other people aren't actually pressing or anything like that. Kitchen's going to be looking for that crab off rip every single time. If he does, I'm getting out the way, moving down to the paint. Always going to be doing that. Now on the drive right here from Nick, we get a nice dot to the corner to Nut. He ends up shooting a white right here. Again, this is what I'm talking about. I do feel like those are hittable shots with the dimer and all types of stuff like that, but it is hard to make a build with the proper playmaking badges, especially if you're making a point guard. As we all know from playing, you know, Park or anything like that on the next gen stuff, 6'7" power forwards is kind of just the meta when it comes to that. Now, Kitchen does have a 6'7" power forward. He's actually working on a new one that has steal rating, because this current one that he's playing on doesn't even have steal. And we unfortunately have him in the wing side where I'm trying to play the help defense from, and he has to play the halves. Not very ideal, but he is working on a new build that does have max steal, and it's pretty much the same exact thing as what he has right here. He has a very high badge count, yet he doesn't have the speed with ball or the jump shot speed that Nick would have right here on his 6'5". However, again, my whole point is the 6'7s and just the power forwards in general, they're so dominant when it comes to the badge counts and the ratings that you get, and it's so hard to make an actual point guard in this game with just everything said. Now, that right there is a struggle of the 6'7" power forward trying to run point guard. Kitchen's jump shot speed does not get him the opportunities that he would like. Now, this is where a lot of people would compensate for that with the Hall of Fame bailout, where they can just pass out of shots. We're getting there. I do feel like there's a lot of adjusting we need to do when it comes to the meta of the game, or just learning our way through it as well, and not really just hearing and listening to everything everybody tries to run for the meta. You can see Panda actually has a ton of playmaking badges on his build, even if he's a lockdown. So this man definitely still runs a Hall of Fame bailout, etc., etc. You can see right there, I got a nice offensive rebound, kick out the nut in the corner. I get another O board, but I go back up with it with 25 close shot. Not the best look, to be completely honest with you. Kitchen tries to get the steal in the transition, but like I said, has minimum steal on his build. We're getting there. Again, this is a very unfortunate circumstance where Pro-Am is very hard to just, make everything happen in a day. Whether it's team chemistry, whether it's builds, whether it's, getting into WR tournaments, etc., etc. You rely on a lot of other people than yourself. It's really just how it is. Kitchen goes for a nice drive right there on the pick and roll. I love those easy takes too. I mean, this is another thing as far as the pick and roll goes too. And before I forget to mention this, I want to just detail how much I love these easy looks right here. I mean, drive off the pick and roll is not extinct. Now, I talk about easy buckets from 5 out where it's just easy dunk, 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 dunk. If you don't do something about it, if you don't have rotations, and even if you do have rotations, they still dunk on you. Now, I feel like low key, dunking off of the pick and roll is still a very valid thing. Like, you can still drive off this stuff, and if the big man's hedging too high, or if he's too slow, even if he is hedging low, it really is still an easy look. And Kitchen does have 12 finishing badges with the typical 6'7" builds where you get the max driving dunk, driving layup, all types of stuff like that. You can see this right here is something that I'm loving to do, and I want to keep on doing as well, where if we run this 5-out defense, I want to stay stationary right here. I'm not moving back and forth, pacing left to right to left, and letting them just decide when to dot me, and I just end up moving this way as he passes it, and then I can't get out on the contest. Right here, I'm stationary near the block, and then I'm able to get out to this contest to make him not want to shoot it. Now, when you get these traffic cones on offense, the corner guys involved, they are prone to mistakes. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. A lot of people, they hate on these videos with the Pro-Am stuff because they're like, oh, I couldn't imagine sitting there playing in the corner and not doing a single thing on offense. They're not doing any cuts, any motion, any movements or anything like that. I understand. Look, I'm going to be real. This squad of 5 right here is not built for the old head, on the fly mechanics and stuff like that. I've played with old heads before. I loved it too. I mean, it is pretty fun to just fly around and do whatever, on any possession with a great passer at point guard who might not have the best stick when it comes to dribbling or shooting or anything like that. But I gotta say, sagging off, making these corners do something when you put the ball in their hands, and then everybody else denying off ball and forcing bad passes or just bad situations where this guy has it in the paint. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When you get the ball in the corner, as just a corner spot up role player, you don't really know what to do with the ball in your hand. I'm going to just be real. That's just kind of how it is. So, I love playing this style of defense. I'm going to keep on doing it too when we play this 5-out, or if I ever end up in the corner regardless. You can see, again, ball on the wing. I don't even know if that's not the point guard or not. I don't think it is. But either way, you get what I'm saying. Somebody besides the point guard having the ball leads to mistakes more often than not. That's just how it is. Now, this guy right here, he's already on Gatorade. I'm going to be real with you guys. You can see my stamina is low as well. I was told by a lot of these comp Pro-Am guys that I don't need stamina. I can just leave it at 25 and I'll be good because it defaults to 50. And here we are. Like, I'm literally at halftime right now, and I'm almost halfway down on the stamina bar. You can see right here, Kitchen gets the drive. I hit the pick and pop, end up missing the white. Really unfortunate shot right there because I knew exactly what was happening. Hit Kitchen on the pass, on the drive, and he was able to just go with it. I already knew I was staying out in the pop. Then they get someone moving up from corner to wing, just like that. Boom. Green. We're kind of falling apart at the end of this half right here. It's real unfortunate. It starts with me missing that wide open pick and pop. I need to be better with that. But that is the life of the pick and roll. Now, this right here is also the life of the pick and roll. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I love seeing stuff like this where Kitchen goes for the drive off the pick and roll. Love to see this. And then if this big man right here is really good on the recovery and catches him before he can get to the paint, he's going to end up backing it up just like this. Miscommunication. They're trying to figure out this guy up and then big man down, but what if the big man doesn't get down in time and stops me for the lob? So a lot of teams, they might full switch this to where the big man stays up and then this guy tries to take me away, but if I can cut it the right time, I get this lob almost every single time. So this is where it all starts, from Kitchen driving and backing it up for the mid-range, and just like this, gets a great shot opportunity, and even if he misses that shot, he gets the big man full switched onto him, and then I have the guard on me for an easier rebound. It's a perfect situation. The more we see of that, the better. I don't really enjoy the whole like working super hard for 3-point attempts all over the place, left and right, all over, just for the whole course of the game. Now that right there, obviously really unfortunate. We give up a drive. I was trying to drop for the rotation. Kitchen playing halves. Would have been a great situation, but again, I literally just can't get a block. Somebody let me know if you have any methods as far as contesting shots in the paint or trying to get chase down blocks. In previous games, I held Y to try and get like a more extended chase down animation, and it worked so well. But in this game, I feel like all logic of the past has gone away. Rebounding makes no sense to me in this game. The chase down blocks are awful. You don't really get any animations as far as like good help defense or anything like that. And with that said, it'd be horrible for Nut to try and get a chase down on ball too. So it's really just a tough scene. Either way, halftime box score, you can see their point guard has 22 points. Now, as far as the shot attempts spread that we are talking about earlier in the game, we have 13 between me and Kitchen. The Nut also has 6 on his own. The point guard has 10 shot attempts, literally has missed 1 shot. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to 5 out. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. 5 out is so efficient with just good looks. You really can't go wrong when it comes to the 5 out, as far as just, you really are going to have a paint look whenever you want. So it's really just about, you got to contain people. You got to stop them from getting the threes. Then you also have to focus on stopping them from getting the paint. It's really just a tough scene. Like I said, a lot of the Pro-Am guys, for whatever reason, they haven't seen this 5 out as the meta. Maybe that's because they've all been tainted by how Blinders was super OP, and pick and roll off of it and fading and stuff was like the super meta. Right there, very dangerous in transition. We've been talking to Nick about this a little bit as well. I just want to talk about it in the video because, like I said, in these videos, I kind of want to commentate it as if I'm talking to the teammates as well, and just give you guys a little insight on our team and make you feel like you're part of the team as well. So, with this, somebody else other than Nick needs to foul right here. This is a very dangerous thing right here. He knows he can get this off. I just think this is a very dangerous situation to be had, and we give up a lot of corner threes doing this. So, in Pro-Am, the meta is so say like in transition game to foul every single time. It stops the transition looks. You can see it's like literally 17 seconds into the second half right here. So there's really no problem in fouling. We get 5 fouls until we end up in the bonus anyway, but corner ends up wide open off of that. It's a very scary situation, to be completely honest with you. Now we're racking up the fouls just like that. Boom. Nut gets the reach in off the inbound, and you're gonna see we rack up a lot of fouls coming into the second half right here. So back to the defense right here. Boom, Kitchen on the halves. You can see these guys are playing pretty tight when it comes to the wing in the corner. Again, Nut with the third foul of the quarter, and we're less than 30 seconds into it, so we're not looking too good, and it gets even worse. So Nut back on ball. Boom, this dude drives. Kitchen rotation, not quite there in time. It was just kind of a bad animation, and as you can see, he hits the white. It is what it is. So as far as defense, great idea. It was just lack of execution. Then right here, again, I mean, it was the exact same thing as what happened earlier in the game. You can see I'm coming up the court, press break, boom, very comfortable with the ball in my hand like this, but there's nothing to be had, so I'm trying to hit Kitchen on the drive cut again. Boom, turnover, awful. And then we get our 4th foul of the quarter, less than a minute in. We're not looking good. It's just really bad. We're back down 10. All of this stuff, whether it's, the end of the first half or we're sitting here with, a really bad situation to begin the half, we're not looking good. This dude goes in off the corner again. I get a nice contest. We're out in the transition. Nut gets the lob, misses it. That's real unfortunate as well. Now, again, transition. Boom. Already in the bonus. That is awful. That is so tough. That is so tough. That is a combination of reach-ins, intentional fouls. Obviously, you kind of have to burn the intentional fouls. That's why it's very hard to play reach-in, steal defense in this game in the first place. You already have a foul limit yourself. You can't get more than 6 fouls. And then you also have a team foul limit in the quarters. And it's really tough. Now, you can see in the free throw situation, that dude ran NA, which is essentially you let the game time it for you. You don't actually use any user timing or anything like that. Now, right here, you can see a really nice spin, hit Panda in the corner off the icons. Perfect drive. Love it. I could have had a pick and pop, but I felt it was going to be a bit contested if I shot it, so end up just keeping it. I like to make something happen when I have the ball in my hands as well. You guys know I love the slashing stuff as well, so it's really nice to be playing that style of offense. Now, this right here, I can't really explain much of my thought process here, to be completely honest with you. It was really bad defense where I should have just dropped fully. I should have committed entirely, and maybe it would have made Nut a bit more comfortable to rotate out to this wing. But you can see I kind of float back to the corner. Now, Nut is probably thinking as I'm doing this that I'm committed to the corner and Kitchen's going to be working back to the wing. But Kitchen ends up taking the wing fully. So now we're all kind of lost in like no man's land. Kitchen gets a nice 14% contest. I'm there with him. Again, make another white. We're back down 11. Again, this third quarter has been very bad to us. It's just been tough either way. So, back in transition on offense right here, working the pick and roll. Nick has the ball, gets that big man on him, backs it up. Green, again, that is the perfect look every single time in a half-court offense, in my opinion. There's really not much you can do about it as a defense. That's how I see it. That is the strong suit of pick and roll in this game, 100%. Now, you can see right there, nice wing dot. Wing was a bit scared to shoot it. Back up to the top. Now we're just completely lost again. Kitchen ended up jumping on the drive, and now he's not there for the rotation. Again, just very bad situation on defense. We really just stunk this third quarter up, at least at the beginning of this. Again, back in the pick and roll offense. Kitchen looking for the drive. Nothing there. Goes for the drive again. I'm running out on the pop. He ends up getting a little bit of a crab off right there. For anybody who doesn't know, I just want to go ahead and explain this too. A crab is essentially when you get in front of the guy, and then 2K does not allow you to contest from behind. So this right here, wide open shot. There's no way, even if he jumps, if he reaches, anything like that, that he can get a stop on this, and it's only this guy who can defend it. So the only thing they could really do is for him to just commit to Kitchen right here, and then this guy drop out on me. Maybe him cheat over a little bit right here, and then him go ahead and just play between the halves. Again, playing rotations and halves defense is so important when it comes to Pro-Am, and I feel like with chemistry of just like your whole team communicating, it's so important. And you're gonna see a lot of times in this game where our communication and our chemistry is just not there. Like, we just are not good enough when it comes to rotations and blitzing people, or playing like really good defense of just communication and on the fly adjustments and just working with like random things. Now you can see that's their first foul of the whole quarter, so that's why we're not getting free throws, but they do, because again, we got 5 fouls in the first 1 minute of the quarter. Right here, you're gonna see I hit a nice little quick slip. I don't get anything because I get bumped. Now I'm just thinking like, okay, let's go with this reset. Nothing's really happening. I get the ball again, shot clock running low. I like to do my slashing stuff. You can see I hit a nice little spin dunk right there. Now, as far as the explanation on this whole possession right here, I already see when Kitchen gets this ball right here, we have this set up perfect. Nut is on the inbound, moving to left corner. We're going to have this spacing perfect. What I like to do on these slips is whenever Kitchen moves toward me is when I'm going to go ahead and dive, because whenever he moves toward me, this hedge defender cheats up so often. Now, unfortunately, he cheats up at such a weird angle that he ends up bumping me, and then I don't get open. And again, nothing really doing here. You're going to see that spin dunk again where Kitchen was probably thinking I was going to pop to that open wing side. Boom. I just go for that spin dunk, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. I love seeing that, especially in the fives, where you have so limited space when it comes to a slasher, as far as like, you don't have that 5-out set going for you. It's really hard to make things happen as a slasher, in my opinion, but it's so beautiful to see it all come full circle. Right here, you're going to see a nice like full rotation. Nut ends up guarding the wing, carries over to the top of the key. Now, a horrible shot attempt. You're going to see Nick ends up, overplaying it a bit, gets a nice contest on it. He shoots it early. We're out on the break. I throw a horrible outlet pass on the fast break. Nut ends up getting like super pass interference right there, but it is what it is. They don't really call that in Pro-Am, so if you can get the bump, it is what it is. Nobody really plays for that strategically either. It's just something that kind of happens. You're going to see right there, that dude was so showing that he was going to go for that wing cut too, and this is where, again, lack of communication and just chemistry and just preparation for this is kind of a thing where, again, you guys saw that happen on the other side where the left wing ended up cutting, and then I was able to pick him up, and then Kitchen rotates to my corner, and then you're going to see Panda probably could have done the same thing right here, drop, and then Nick end up rotating to the corner right there, because it is very hard to stop those wing lobs when you're trying to chase. Again, chase down blocks or chase down like passing lanes on lobs or anything like that, or just playing a lane in general from behind. It's really tough in this game. Now right here, I end up trying to fake pass. I get kind of bailed out. I'm not gonna lie. He probably could have got the charge right there, and I would have been really down bad. I would have been feeling really disappointed by myself. But end up getting the personal foul right there. I go to the free throw line as a little technical. I'm not even sure why that's actually a technical foul in the first place. But right here, we give Nut a little post look right here. I'm gonna rotate to the corner. He gets the inside post spin. Nice dunk. Again, this is kind of a freelance set, whatever we run, where we are a pick and roll team. Me, Kitchen, or me and Nick are gonna be running that pick and roll set. But we also have Nut, who's going to be more of a post scorer and 5-out option, and it's actually a very nice situation too. So right here, again, just absolute chaos when it comes to, you know, rotations and stuff like that. We end up pulling it off really well. I try and hit this crossover right here. It was so slow. That was really bad. Kitchen gets it super deep. I end up trying to play for the long rebound. He ends up hitting a white. I do feel like we could have got that rebound with me and Nut both down there, him playing the low board, me playing the high board, but it is what it is. We end up getting our white. Both teams had a fair share of the whites made in this game. You can see right there, that is the absolute meta move of the 5-out, or even just driving in general. The Pro 3 behind the back, it is just a tough scene. So right here, boom. The reason that it's so elite is it gets him to the other side of the court of where I'm going to try and drop and rotate from. And then on top of that too, it just splits hedge defense like crazy when you're trying to play pick and roll. But again, you can see Pro 3 behind the back just going crazy. It really is tough to defend entirely. So here we are at the end of the quarter, down 8. We have a low-key 2-for-1, but not really. Obviously, we could hold for last shot, and the other team wouldn't be able to get a shot, but it is what it is. I like to just play kind of at the regular pace, and if we can get a shot, we get a shot right here. Get a nice little slip opportunity. Get a really good alley-oop right there. I end up getting my takeover, which is actually very big. Now, I'm just going to explain this in like 5 seconds, all right? So if I were to not activate takeover right here, I would lose a ton of progress. It'd probably go down to here after the quarter break. But if I activate it, I really only go down to like about right here. You really don't lose much takeover if you have it activated, but if you don't, you lose a lot. Now right here, you can see this big man lingering down here for the alley-oop. Again, Panda with the steal upgraded on his build. It is a beautiful thing to have people with steal off ball. We haven't had it very often on this team, to be completely honest with you. And Panda literally gets us a stop and a bucket when we shouldn't have even had a bucket to begin with. So great end to that third quarter right there. After a horrible start, we ended up in the bonus really awfully. And again, you can see my takeover progress really not waning too bad. And you know, it is what it is. I mean, it low-key is kind of bad, but it definitely is less of a rate of dropping as long as you activate the takeover rather than if you were to not have it on at all. Now, right here, again, perfect rotation. Absolutely great defense. I'm playing the top of the key now. I'm just shadowing this guy at the top. I'm going to play like essentially how Nut is at the top of the key. I end up getting a really bad contest. They get a really easy O-board because I'm not down there and neither is Nut. So it's really just Kitchen and Panda to try and grab the rebound in their 2-6-7s. And they do have rebounding upgraded, but it is still a tough scene to try and rebound on your own in this game alone, regardless of your height. For me to even rebound alone against a 3-man or 2-man crash is pretty tough, even at 6'10" with like, you know, maxed out rebounding. Nick gets a nice crab right there as well. You're going to see that come back down with a 5-out set. They try and dot Kitchen on the wing right there. He's right there for it. Again, we're trying to harass. Nut is playing great off-ball defense. Ends up back on the ISO, however, and just is a bit overplaying the drive. Dude ends up Curry sliding. It is what it is. You guys get the deal. Curry slide, ISO, 5-out drive. It's just like what you see on 2v2. You're going to see right here, I didn't have my dribble picked up. That was perfect situation. I absolutely love this. I wish this could happen almost every single play. The truth behind it, a lot of times this guy's going to be right here on me, and a lot of times Kitchen just doesn't want to get the ball out of his hand in general, where the only reason he really passed this is because he was at half court. It was looking like he might get trapped or, you know, bumped and then end up at the half court violation. So he just checks it over to me. Sometimes I even end up having to dribble out of this because the game just forces me into picking up my dribble. And with my dribble picked up, I'm so much more exposed in this situation where Kitchen's trying to wrap around me, because if I have my dribble picked up, this guy could bump me. If he's trying to, you know, fight over super hard, this guy could bump me. I could get put in the trapper animation and just, you know, lose the ball to 2 bump steals. But since I didn't have my dribble picked up, a great opportunity to slip through right there. And that's kind of a manual slip. I love doing that on 2v2, and it kind of correlates to the Pro-Am as well, because it's rare. It's really rare that somebody would be able to do that to you, you know, and really use 5 defenders to guard you on that. It's just so rare that you would ever end up with help defense actually getting anywhere on that. So right there, they kind of break our rotation again, where they just stop a little bit at the mid-range spot, and then Nut tries to pass them off to me, but I'm not there for the mid-range shot. Either way, we end up getting the rebound out in the transition. Kitchen hits the green with the low key like kind of crab blinder shot. You can see it was just a great opportunity. Now right here again, he's working to that mid range. We have a lot going on right here rotation wise. You can see I'm trying to go to the corner. We got Panda and Nick on the wing right here, and then this dude's gonna end up driving. Ends up shooting a 60% contest. The board goes super short, but Nick is there for the steal. We're out in transition to Nut. He ends up trying to go up with it. Super contested layup. I get the rebound, call timeout. That was so hectic right there, and a huge possession to be able to get that back. So now on the inbound, obviously every single time Kitchen's going to try and press up on this. Inbounder goes to the same corner side. Beautiful setup. I end up going for the slip right there. Nothing having though. And then Kitchen pulls me back in for the standing lob. Now, I'm going to be real. Right here, I was still waiting for the standing lob, but what I wanted to do was reset my 3 second. You can see it is very urgent that I get out of the paint right here because flat out I was just in the paint for way too long. I'm trying to get right here and then reset for the standing lob because we don't have a lot of time right here. If nothing was there for the standing lob, I'm probably working back up after like 2 to 3 seconds, but Kitchen hits me with like a pausing. If for anybody who watches the current gen stuff, right? There's this dude pausing in the stage who just runs backwards and gets this type of a contact dunk every single time. It's crazy. And that has become a term in the current gen stage community. And it's so funny to see that in the next gen game as a lob version. Now, I don't think that's an actual thing you can do method wise, and you're gonna see they were absolutely working us with that type of a situation where this dude was just boom, curry slide, drive, stop mid every single time, and our rotation was just so busted for that. Now what can easily be, you know, eased off a bit when it comes to that is obviously for Nut to just follow a little bit more and maybe me stay at home on the corner a bit more. You can see beautiful pick and roll game right there. I'm talking like it just speaks so much to the chemistry that me and Kitchen have. You can see clip the screen. He's gonna play for the crab right here on the guard, but ends up missing it. Now I end up going for the roll, and always he's gonna move to the opposite side, set me up perfectly for that lob with a great angle on the pass. I mean, it's just beautiful basketball to watch when we're both like working together really well. I gotta say, I mean, that's probably my favorite part of 2K is the pick and roll chemistry, to be completely honest. Obviously, I love the slashing stuff too, but you're gonna see right there, we actually execute a little bit on that rotation that time where I end up taking him even at the mid-range. I'm trying to fill in for the lob right here, nothing having, but we have Panda wide open, greens it, boom, just like that. We take the lead finally, 59-56 after a horrible third quarter start. We end up coming back in the fourth. I think we are down by 12 somewhere in the third quarter. Now right here you can see some more BS going their way. So me and Panda both drop right here. Now I don't get pulled into this contact dunk animation because of interior D, but what I'm realizing with interior defense, right? It's literally just this. It doesn't help you get blocked. It just stops you from getting dunked on, which half the time doesn't even help you because you still get dunked near. Now, I obviously am trying to jump for this. I'm not getting any animation. They end up going for a contact dunk on Panda. The shot misses super high, but it ends up bouncing in, and he gets an and one on top of it. Crazy situation. Complete, I'm gonna be just completely honest, bailout right there. It is what it is. But anyway, at the free throw line, there's a wide variety of people you might see at this free throw line as well, whether it be people run NA, time their stuff and have a bad free throw rating, don't time it very well and have a bad free throw rating too, and they just airball it, or there are some people who even run NA with good free throw rating and they get like 95% for not even timing it. And I gotta say, I mean, that is pretty fire, honestly. Now right here, again, me and Kitchen are just working the freelance sets. We end up going with, you know, I just end up with the ball right here. I'm not sure, obviously, you know, he just didn't have a shot. Boom, he ends up getting caught for the reach, caught for the passing lane because I hit that fake pass. He thought I was going to panic pass back to him. Just like that, Kitchen working back to the top of the sharp takeover. I mean, it feels like 2v2 out here, bro. It is such a fun thing to work well with the pick and roll in the Pro-Am stuff. And, you know, again, obviously it's a two-man thing. Now, right here, again, unfortunately, this is what I'm talking about too, where I say it's a two-man game, but they can force you to make this a team game as well. You can see right here, wing cut. Again, Panda thinks to drop, but Nick doesn't know if Panda's going to do it because, again, lack of chemistry, lack of trust, lack of just, you know, repetition playing together, and just lack of repetition of playing the 5 out as well. Like I said, it's not a very meta lineup. And you're going to see situations like that a lot where it's just a lack of trust from your teammates or a lack of trust of, you know, just a certain situation. Now right here, I'm just camping block. We end up getting a nice little, they're really focused on Kitchen with a sharp take. I'm obviously knowing every single time. I'm just going to go ahead and slip because I'm not trying to get Kitchen set up for a double team or anything like that and get him in a bad situation. So I'm always going to slip. If he has the shot there, go for it. If not, I'm there for him every single time for that. You're going to see Nut gets a beautiful chase down. That was we needed that like big time. And then I'm camping for the block right here. Very, very small window, but props to Nick for not making any mistakes right there. Obviously, you know, just a bit of craziness going on right here, but we get the ball back to Kitchen with a sharp take. Again, I'm thinking they're probably going to overplay his sharp takeover. And right here, you're going to see I'm going to try and press up on the inbound because we're trying to get this to Kitchen. So the reason I'm pressing up on this inbound right here, we're trying to keep it so Nick is on this wing and we don't have to have any crazy like miscommunication of him ending up on the ball, Kitchen having to wrap over. Somebody gets double teamed. It was going to be awful probably. So we just go ahead and get this back to Kitchen because I'm coming up, get the full switch, ends up driving off of it. Again, the big man hedges too high. Perfect situation. We're going to go ahead and just run that back too because I want you guys to see how easy this drive stuff is. This dude has to hedge high. He has to hedge high with this sharp takeover right here. And when he does, boom, what do? Rotate from the corner? Yeah, right. I mean, that's literally 5 out 2.0 essentially. It's literally just me setting a screen and staying out in the 3-point line and the hedge defender having to respect his 3-pointer way too much, ends up driving right past him. That's a game-winning bucket right there essentially. Really, I mean, 2-point shot, take the 4-point lead, 2-possession lead just like that. Beautiful. Love to see it. Now, obviously, we're watching 3-pointer right here. Everybody's kind of staying home. They end up running a little wrap right there. You can see Kitchen play perfect, like halves defense playing 2. Now, they end up getting a pretty open 3-pointer right there. Nick ends up jumping. They probably could have greened that, to be completely honest with you. Then, again, just a whole lot of craziness, confusion, and they end up with a mid-range contested shot, end up shooting the white. That was probably the worst look they could have got entirely. A 2-point contested shot when you're down by 4. You really just don't want to see that. Now, quick little stat check as I'm just, you know, trying to grab the screenshot just in case people quit out of the game because, again, just to let you guys know, people quit out of the game if it's inevitable of what's going to happen in the game because you don't want to lose your overall and you barely get any rep toward it or anything like that, and there's no point to really stay in. So you don't want to lose your Gatorade, your boost, your overall, anything like that. So people just quit out of the games for anybody who's curious. Nobody's a sore loser or anything like that. But you can see right there, great game. We're going to go ahead and get the final box score check. Obviously, we're just denying 3 right here, and nothing is going to happen. Kitchen still has that takeover, too. Crazy enough. So, here's the final box score. I end up with 19, 8, and 4. Missed that one wide open 3-pointer. I don't know what the 2-point miss was, to be completely honest with you, but super efficient game for me and Kitchen in the pick and roll. Kitchen ends up with 20 and 8 with 0 turnovers. Obviously, he was 8 of 14. Missed a couple 3-pointers here and there, but regardless, super efficient game. And obviously in the second half, you can see we ended up scoring 18 and 22. We scored 40 points in the second half and 20 points in the first half, or 30 in the first half, my bad. But as you can see, great efficient game, me and Kitchen on offense. And then even at that, Panda ended up 3 for 3 from 3 as well. Obviously, Nut contributed with a couple post touches. Nick with his occasional offensive pick and roll possessions as well. Their point guard, he probably cooled down a little bit toward the end of the game. We finally got our rotations working pretty well. Obviously, you can see he ended up with 29 and 8 with only 2 turnovers. So, obviously, he had a great game. But it's hard to not put up big numbers in that 5 out, to be completely honest with you. I mean, realistically, when you're the driving force of that team and you carry the offense, if you're not scoring or accountable for at least like 40 of the team's points, and when I say accountable, I mean points and assists combined. So every assist that he had probably combined for at least 20 points, consider all things considered of, you know, 3-pointers or 2-pointers, whatever it may be. So at that point, he almost combined for probably the 50 of their 62 points, or at least is accountable for it. And then after that, probably a couple fast breaks here and there. So really the whole team rides and dies off of the point guard. And if you're not putting up at least probably like 30 and 10, you're probably losing, to be completely honest with you. So that is the downside of the 5-out game. Now, with all that said, it's pretty easy to get assists and points because it's so easy to get the paint cuts of the wing cut and just the corner cut or anything like that, or dotting corner if people cheat too hard on trying to drop from the corner on you, or whether it's just the Curry slide with no help because you're just at the top of the key on an island, or you just don't get help in the paint and you get an easy dunk. Either way, hope y'all enjoyed the video of this 5-out versus pick and roll. I think this commentary was super free flowing too. You're going to see, I'm actually recording this at probably like 6 a.m. right here, but I gotta say, this is a great free flowing commentary. Let me know if you enjoyed this too. There was very few and occasional cuts as far as like actual cuts in the video. Speaking of which, we get one right there. But anyway, as far as the rebound count, you can see we actually tied them 17-17. We've been out rebounding a lot of teams too. And as far as assist to turnover ratio, you can see we were looking really good, 16-4. Really, I had 3 turnovers, and like one of them was an offensive 3-second. The other, I don't even know. I kind of forget, to be completely honest with you. But anyway, that's all the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this one to 800 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put Kitchen in the comments to show your support you made all the way through. Shout out to my boy, man. I'm so glad to have him back on this 2K stuff. There was a period of time where, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is me just kind of talking at the end of the video for all my day ones and all the homies and supporters of the channel back in 2K20, even back to 19, 18, even 17, man. Obviously, I've been running with AK, aka Shots, top 5. And I've been running with Kitchen since 2K19. I've been running with Cook since 2K18. I've been running with Dope since 2K19. And, you know, SK back in 2K19 as well. Honestly, what it's come down to is just a lot of the guys just don't have the next-gen console, or they don't have the drive to even play the next-gen 2K in general. So it is what it is. I've been kind of on an island as far as like my squad, so to say. But I'm hoping in 2K22 that we can kind of bounce back and actually get a couple of those guys back as well on the game, especially AK. And then even if it's just me, AK, Kitchen, and Dope rolling together, I'm cool with that as well. So anyway, it is what it is. And also, we're picking up a lot of cool pieces too. I mean, I'm a big fan of playing with Nut. Obviously, Tonic in the Pro-Am videos has been a nice piece to play with as well. Nick has been balling. And then obviously, Panda was playing really well this game. Ended up with 3 steals actually. 9 points on 3 for 3 shooting, 4 rebounds. Ended up having a couple nice outlets as well. I mean, man, we got a nice squad right here. It is very fun to play with. So anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, like I said, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.